girls, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Rye and this is Rye's Reading Corner, and today we're going to be going over my end of the year TBR. Again, hello, I'm Rye and this is Rye's Reading Corner. If this is the first time you're seeing my face, you not hit the subscribe button, please do so. It's super easy and it really helps my channel grow. So as you can tell by my thumbnail and my little introduction, today we are going over my end of the year TBR. However, few housekeeping things. Yes, this background is very different. If you didn't know, I think I've said it before, I'm currently moved my bookshelves and my entire room to a new location. So my books are stacked here. This is not even half of them. I need to put them back on the shelves, but I still wanted to film, so you have just book piles everywhere. So I do apologize for that. Also, my voice is a little different. I am getting over the mix of a cold, and so you can definitely hear it in my voice. So just bear with me. So I cannot believe that October is going to be over fairly soon, and I feel like there's so many books that I've want to read that I just have not gotten to yet. So I wanted to pick 10 books that I would like to prioritize between November and December that I really want to get to and make sure I include it somewhere in TBR Jenga. So I have this separated into 3 categories. I have horror, thriller type of books, fantasy, and romance. So we're going to start off with my horror books first. So the first one is a middle grade book, and it is the last one in a quartet that just came out this year, and I would like to finish the quartet, and it is Empty Smiles by Katherine Arden. This is a middle grade horror series, and each one takes place in a different season, and I believe this one is the summer one. So I should have probably read this when it first came out, and I think it was August, but I am really still excited to read this one. The cover is super creepy. I find clowns really disturbing, so I'm really excited to read this one. If you haven't read this series, it is a really good middle grade series. I believe my favorite one still is the very first one, but I'm excited to finish off the series. The next one is Hidden Pictures by Jason Rohlach, and this is an adult horror book, and I don't know too much about it. I just know that there's very creepy and disturbing pictures like throughout this book that makes me super intrigued by it. I know Michelle from Michelle's Library really enjoyed this book and actually read it, I believe, in like one night because it was just you wanted to keep knowing what was more about it, but I don't really know much about it, but I like not knowing about my horror books as I go into them. Try to stay away from any spoilers because I want to go in blind. It makes it so much better. So these are the 2 horror books that I would like to get to. Now let's move to my fantasy books I would like to get to by the end of the year. The first one is an adult fantasy, and this is Jade City by Fauna Lee. I feel like I've had this on so many TBRs, but I keep putting off because I am intimidated by it. It's such a thick book. The series is huge. The books just keep getting bigger in the series, but I really don't know much about this. Might be a pattern here, but it's about the Greenbone Warriors, and they have to use Jade to like enhance their magic, I believe, like their abilities, and I believe it's kind of like a mafia type style, if I'm being correct, and I think something happens to the Jade that they have to use. I don't know too much about it, but I know that people said that they think I would really like this book, so I really want to give it a try. Just like I said, it's a commitment. This is a big book, and then the series just keeps getting bigger as it goes on, but I would really like to try and get to this one. The next one is a YA fantasy from one of my favorite authors, and that's The Sunbearer Trials by Aiden Thomas. I did get their exclusive edition from Barnes & Noble, and it's really, really pretty. I don't know, honestly, anything about this book. I just know that it's from Aiden Thomas, and as soon as I see a book written by them, I automatically pick it up. I've really liked their 2 other previous works that they've released. This one, I don't know anything about it, but it doesn't matter because it's Aiden Thomas and I'm excited to read it, so this one's on the list. And the last one, to no surprise, is Amari and the Great Game by B.B. Alston, and this is now middle grade, and I was able to get the signed first edition from Barnes & Noble, which so excited about. So if you don't know, this is a story that takes place about a girl who thinks there's nothing like crazy about her. She thinks she's just pretty ordinary. She's struggling a little bit. She lives with her mom, and she lives in a rougher part of an area but goes to a private school where she is the minority, and her brother disappears, and she learns some things about herself and her brother, and it was amazing. It was a 5-star read for me. It was my top books last year. I don't know why I thought I was gonna pick this up as soon as it came out, and I think I'm nervous to read it because I don't want to be let down because I loved the first one so much, but I really want to get this done. I haven't heard many people talk about it either, but I'm excited to dive back into this world with Amari and her friends, and it's a great magical world, so I'm really excited to get to this one. And my final category is romance, and this is where I think I have 5 romances that I would like to get to by the end of the year. So the first one is Mistakes Were Made by Meryl Wilsner. This is an age gap sapphic romance, and I believe it's like a friend's mom and something. I don't know. I just heard such great things about this. I know Brie from 4 Pots of Book read this recently and said it was so spicy. I can't wait. Like an age gap sapphic romance, like give it to me all. I'm so excited to get to this one hopefully soon. The next one is by Ali Hazelwood, and this is Love on the Brain. And this is her follow-up novel to The Love Hypothesis, which I really did enjoy. This one is another romance where the female character is in the STEM world. I know I'm a little nervous to read this one because a lot of people have been saying that it's very similar to The Love Hypothesis, and so that makes me a little hesitant to jump into this one, which is why I don't think I've read it. Again, I purchased it pretty much on release day, but I am excited. I think the cover is really pretty. I love the bright pink, and that's all I really know about it. I think it's something with maybe with NASA engineering. I don't know, but I love reading a book about a female character in the STEM world. The next one just came out this week, and it Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. This is the sequel to It Ends With Us, which is one of my favorite books of all time. I love Atlas, and I cannot wait to be back with these characters. I can't say much about this book because if I go too much into this book, it will be spoilers for It Ends With Us, and I really don't want to do this one. I've heard some great things so far from people who have already read it. It's pretty short, so I feel like I can get through this one fairly quickly. The audiobook I think is like 4 hours long on 2.5 speed, but I'm really excited to be back with these characters because I loved It Ends With Us. It made me cry. So the next one is Dating Dr. Dill by Nisha Sharma. This is another adult rom-com, and this follows, I believe, a dental school and maybe a doctor in between one of the students. Not 100% sure, but I've heard some really good things about this romance. I don't know exactly what the trope is in this one. Pretty funny from what I heard, and good spice as well. I always love a balance of humor and spice. And the last one, my physical copy is upstairs, and I don't remember the exact title, but it's the new Christmas novel that came out already, and it's written by Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone. I honestly don't know anything about this book. Why I want to read this one so bad is because to me, those seem like such different type of romance authors. So I love Julie Murphy. She wrote If the Shoe Fits, which was Fade to Black, and I literally loved that story. I didn't even care that it was Fade to Black. I gave it 5 stars. And Sierra Simone is the author that writes like the Priest series, which is like nothing like Fade to Black at all. I've not read it, but from what I know about the series and people that have read it, it's super, super, super spicy and smutty. And they have this new Christmas book that they wrote together. So I'm just really, really intrigued to see how those two authors co-write with each other because I feel like they're such opposites, but I am super excited for this romance one. It'll probably be one of the first ones I pick up in the Christmas time. So these are the 10 books that I would like to get to by the end of the year. Let me know down in the comments below what books are you hoping to get to by the end of 2022. So if you want to take this crazy and chaotic journey with me, please make sure you press that subscribe button. If you're my friend on any of my other social media platforms, I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I also do have my own Patreon. All the information is linked down below. Stay kind, love. So I'll see you next time. Bye.